Alright, so here we have this nice winterboard kale, and I'm just going to pop off these lower leaves. You can tell, like, I don't know if you can tell the difference between these two kale. One is slightly, this one here is slightly more yellow than the other one. And actually, if you look at the back. Hey, it's Greg here with MaritimeGardening.com. It's a weekday morning, and I was just harvesting some kale for dinner tonight, and also to store. When you grow a lot of kale, I mean, people are always asking me, and I've been speaking about this in recent videos, what do you do with all that food? What do you do with all that produce? And the easy answer is that we eat as much of it as we can fresh, and we store the rest. And kale is something that's very easy to store. You just wilt it down by either blanching it or very quickly steaming it, and you pack it into a little plastic container. You put it in the freezer until it's frozen, then you pop it out of the plastic, and it's in a little brick. And you just put all those bricks in a plastic bag and jam in the bottom of your freezer, and all winter long, and when you need kale, you just take a brick out and put it in a bowl like this, fill the bowl up with water, and let it sit like that. You do that in the morning. When you come home, you got a bowl of fresh kale, and it cooks really fast like that too, because it's already been cooked for like a minute. So anyway, I thought I would show how people have asked me this just recently, how I harvest my kale. I use the cut and come again approach, so that I'm not cutting off the whole plant. You're just taking a couple leaves off the plant. And with kale, you have to do that anyway, because the lower leaves of the kale, over time, they start to lose their color and lose their vitality, and they're going to die anyway. The upper leaves get most of the sun, get most of the resources of the plant, and the plant gives up the lower leaves. Trees do the same thing. If you're walking through a forest, you'll notice most of the lower branches of a tree are dead, right? Because they're just not getting sunlight, and the tree just gives up on them, basically. So I thought I'd do a quick video this morning. I got a huge bowl here. This is maybe 16 inches in diameter, and I'm going to fill this in no time. And when I'm done picking it, it's going to look like I didn't really pick anything at all. The plants are just, basically losing a couple leaves per plant, but I've got a few dozen kale plants. So that's how you grow kale and keep harvesting it all season long. I'm going to be harvesting this kale right up until November. And at that point, it basically starts freezing, and the kale doesn't really grow anymore. It just starts to dehydrate when it's frozen. So let's get going here. I'm going to bring you in close to show you, a couple plants, and then I'll sort of zoom out and speed the thing up. All right. All right. So here we have this nice winterboard kale, and I'm just going to pop off these lower leaves. You can tell, like, I don't know if you can tell the difference between these two kale. One is slightly, this one here is slightly more yellow than the other one. And actually, if you look at the back of them, the one that's yellow has a slug on it. Or a snail, sorry, a snail. And the green one doesn't. And the slugs seem to like the used up one. It's another reason to keep harvesting them, because your pests will tend to prefer the ones that are a bit yellow, right? So that one's, I'm going to toss that one. That's why you should stay on top of your plants, right? So I'm going to take maybe 4 sprigs off of this guy. I'll go over to this guy here. I'll take some off of this guy. I can do this really quickly because I just sort of go by feel. That one looks like it waited too long. You wait to do this, if you wait too long to do this, you just end up sacrificing leaves like I just did there, right? So it's high time to do this. I'm going to get as many as I can, and we're going to have, I don't have time to deal with these this evening, but the morning is the best time to harvest stuff like this, because it's spent the whole night, recovering from the sun during the day, and actually last night we had a wicked storm, really powerful lightning and stuff. So it's, these plants have been charged up really, really well with all that rain and stuff. So they're at their best in the morning. And that goes for any produce in your garden. Pick it first thing in the morning. It's at its best. Pick it in the morning, put it in a bowl, put a cloth over the bowl, stick it in the fridge, and when you come home from work, you're ready to rock. All right, so that's just about all I can fit in the bowl. That didn't take long at all, just a couple minutes, right? I'll probably actually go get another bowl because I have more kale. So that's just another kind of thing I do in the morning. I'll come up and harvest a bunch of things like this, and this evening we'll probably eat half of what I harvested this morning, and the rest will get quickly blanched and stuck in the freezer. You know, staying on top of what's in your garden and staying on top of what's coming out of your garden, it's really not a big deal if you just work it into your life. I mean, last night I came home from work, and my wife had made supper, so I cleaned before we actually sat down to eat supper. I cleaned the kitchen and made pickles with cucumbers I'd picked that morning. Right, and that whole process took maybe 25 minutes. Clean the whole kitchen, you know, empty the dishwasher, fill it back up, clean off the counters, make some pickles, and then sit down and have a nice meal. So it might sound overwhelming to some people, but once you work it into the rhythm of your life, it's really not that big a deal, and it's just a way to keep yourself active and avoid paying for a gym. I hope you found that interesting. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. Check out my podcast, maritimegardening.com. And until next time, get out there, get at it, have fun in your garden. Thanks for watching.